Welcome back to Talking Story. My name is John Minton, and the end of the year draws nigh for all of us. I am running out of time to getting my best of lists out there, so I am going to put out my best of fantasy standalones, my top 10, my Mount Rushmore of standalone fantasy. And I agonized over this. I actually made a list several times. I had something way low, and then I thought, no, I can't have it that close to number one because people are going to roll their eyes that I even choose it. But it's my channel, and I make the rules here. So I put it back there, but I put it back all the way at number 10. So if you roll your eyes, you can get it over with at the very beginning of this video, because we're going to start backwards from 10, going all the way down to 1, because that's the way we do it here on BookTube. And let's get started right away. Again, my best of standalone fantasies, not series, standalone. Coming in at number 10, I had to break out the big whomper. Complete works of Shakespeare, baby. Yes, I'm a Shakespeare nerd, and I'm calling an audible for my standalone best of. I'm going Midsummer Night's Dream. All the way back to the Bard, all the way back to the courts of Titania and Oberon, playing tricks on an unwitting wedding party and having too much fun. This has the Shakespearean themes of confused identities. It has the dramatic device of the play within a play that he uses several times, to this time to amazing comedic effect. And I know, it's not a fantasy novel. It's a play. But find a production of this and watch it, and you will thank me. So if you roll your eyes that I picked this at all, even at number 10, you just think, if we spirits have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, as these visions did appear. Trust me, you'll thank me. Find it. Okay, moving on to number 9. I am going to go Weave World by Clive Barker. This is an entire fantasy realm woven within a tapestry. Who will control it? The battles because between back and forth, who will have the essence of this magical land? Who will control it? This is when Clive Barker started to move away from outright horror and more into the fantastical, the fantasy element. If you have not given this a try, I know it's going back a ways, but what a great standalone story from a wonderful fantasist that was moving away from the horror genre and trying to expand what he was able to write and the playgrounds he was playing in. Absolutely give this a try at number 9, Weave World. My number 8 pick is Middle Game by Seanan McGuire. I don't know if she's going to follow this up with another book. She could. She left it to where she could, but as it is now, I think it's a standalone. Just amazing villains, an amazing story. Not only a chosen one, but twins of chosen ones that have to come together and start to realize who is going to control magic, who is going to control alchemy in our really very real world. It's kind of like an urban fantasy. And it's all foretold by one of the greatest magicians from the past in writing and laying this all down in children's books that still exist. It's absolutely amazingly layered and wonderful through the story. Give this a try if you had not. Seanan McGuire, Middle Game. Coming up at number 7, Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker. This year I've been catching up on the Cosmere, and yes, this does still have story elements from his earlier works, Elantris, White Sands, even some from Mistborn Era 1. But I do think on his artist journey, he was going over and reusing things until he got them just right. And in this story, he gets them just right. An amazing story of a princess to save her kingdom and another, leaving her comfortable realm, going to a new realm. Again, Sanderson's mined this field before, but never to this amazing of an effect. And still all the plot threads are laid out for you. All the breadcrumbs are laid out, but still there will be a Sanderlanche ending that will make your jaw drop. How did I not see that coming? It's a wow moment that only he can pull off. Absolutely give this a try. And coming in at number 6, I have to go The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This may not be for you if you do not like purple prose. If you do not have a romantic heart in your chest, this might be one you stay away from. I myself am an old softie, and I absolutely loved the timeless love story that wove itself through hundreds of years of time. This was a great, romantic, fantastical, urban fantasy read, and the language is just lush and vivid, and I absolutely loved it. It may not be for everyone. For me, it was my number 6. Coming in at number 5, I have to go Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. At the same time, an amazing alternate history of the British Empire. A telling of two magicians to be at the heart of their craft. It's almost like the story of Mozart and Salieri going after it, of who is going to be truly touched by this magical presence and able to wield this craft, and how will they wield it, and the price that will be paid. This is an amazing novel from every page right down to every footnote, which is on almost every page because it reads like a history book and at the same time is absolutely addictive, and you cannot stop changing stories. Don't let an alternate history feel set you off of it. It's still just completely readable and lovely. This is an amazing book, and I try not to have the same author on the same list too many times, but there are some authors that I have to break the rules for, and Susanna Clarke is one of them. Coming in at number 4 is Piranesi. This is a genre blender that somehow walks between fantasy and a little bit of touch of sci-fi. A person that is stuck in a fantastical land. He's not sure how he got there. He's not sure how to get out. He's not sure of who he even is really, or who's around him, or the mysteries that abound in this land. And as he starts to crack open this mystery and start to realize where he came from and what he has to do to get back, your jaw will unhinge and drop. It is absolutely lyrical, phenomenal, and somehow she packs an unbelievable punch into this few pages. I was just absolutely blown away by this story. If you have not tried Susanna Clarke yet, start with this one. It's an absolute standalone. You don't have to do anything else going into it. It's a low time commitment, and you will be completely and utterly enchanted. Coming in at number 3, I am going to go with Neil Gaiman and American Gods. This is the story that Neil Gaiman started in The Sandman. He brought it to full realization here. It is a love letter to America after he moved to this country from the UK. It is that story of people coming to this country, gods coming to this country, trying to stake a metaphysical claim into this country. The old gods versus the new gods. The old gods, led by Mr. Wednesday, Odin himself, going to battle against the new gods, the gods of revolving credit, the gods of media. Who will lay claim to the metaphysical America, the one place that is left open for these gods when fewer and fewer people believe in them, or in the case of the new gods, more and more people believe in them, and at the same time weaving through the middle of this like a delicious ribbon of caramel through an ice cream bucket that is your favorite. You have a murder mystery that could only happen in America. Again, a love story to America. This is a delightful, delicious book if you go into it with the right frame of mind. You have to be open. You have to be open to the structure of it and where it's going to take you and allow it to lead you there. You cannot go in with any preconceived notions, but if you follow those directions, you will be completely and utterly mystified at what Neil Gaiman was able to accomplish here in American Gods. Number 2, I've got to go all-time classic. One of the books that made me a lover of the genre to begin with, The Hobbit. There's nothing more magical than this. The story of Bilbo Baggins as he's called to great adventure, told as only Bilbo could tell it. This amazing journey there and back again that you will go with him, and the stalwart dwarves and Gandalf the Grey. I probably don't have to say too much about this. This should be reading for everyone walking the planet, not just lovers of fantasy, because in this, captured in The Little Hobbit of Bilbo, is the human spirit that beats in all of us, and it shows how hero potential is within all of us, even though you come from humble beginnings or you feel like you will never be called to the grand quest. Always be prepared, always be ready, because you may be tapped on the shoulder, and if you are, you can deliver in grand fashion just as Bilbo did. What an amazing journey. This turned a very, very young John Minton into a lover of all things fantastical. And what could possibly beat it out as my number 1 if that is the case? Well, when two people like Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett team up together, the alchemy between the two of them is absolutely indisputable. It is my all-time favorite. This story, Good Omens, the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes Nutter Witch, it is a hilarious telling of the apocalypse. It is a friendship for the ages that is hard to believe and should not be possible. It is laugh out loud funny. It is make me set the book down on the table to consider and meditate on what I just read, thought-provoking. It is, to me, all things that this genre can capture, and it is my favorite standalone fantasy book. And if you have not read this, please do yourself a favor and pick it up. Give this a read, and then check out the amazing adaptation on Amazon Prime. If you have that, you will not be sorry. And there you go. That is my entire list of my favorite standalone fantasy reads from 10 to number 1. Thank you so much for joining me here on Talking Story. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what your favorite standalone fantasies are. What am I missing? What have I not picked up yet? What should I be planning coming up in 2024 to upset my entire stack here for 2024 and make me have to add it in or slide it in slots? Let me know. I would love to know and respond to your comments. What can you not believe is on my list? Did I break the rules entirely with number 10? Probably, but what can I say? I had a good time breaking the rules. So hit me up. If this is your first time here and you like what we do here, hey, hit that thumb, like, and subscribe. It helps us do everything here on the channel. If you've been here a couple times and you kind of keep coming back, hit that subscribe button. It feels right. It just makes you feel good. And thank you again so much for joining me. My name is John Minton, and this has been Talking Story.